Of course, they're buying more and more in bulk. We just used to have a few sacks over there, but if you've got a tour of 25, it's quite difficult to get them all in there. Right, so we're in the new mill room now, and this is our new mill. And you're all thinking she's round the bend. That's not new at all, and you'd be right. Again, recycling. It came up from one of the breweries in Sheffield, apparently.
Oh, yes, it's manufactured in Leeds.
Yes. So we were always told, well, I was told it was 50 years old 6 years ago. But then a gentleman on a tour a couple of months ago told me with great authority that this particular model is 60 years old.
Right.
There you go. There we go. So it's either 55 or 60 years old.
Yeah, well used.
Yeah. So we're going on to the second of this subject, second of the main ingredients, which is malt or malted barley. I'm going to put my glasses down and put them on my head. So this is pale ale malt, and about 80% of the dry ingredients going into beer is this pale ale malt. It's like the basis of it. So you're very welcome to taste a couple of grains if you want, and let me know what you think it tastes of. I do like it, but it makes you very dry if you eat it.
I've had it many, many times.
Okay. So, what do you think? Have you got a little flavour there?
Just like dry Weetabix.
There we go. So a lot of people say Horlicks or
there's
that's
a
the
malted,
thing. That's
yeah.
right. So obviously it is the malted flavour that's in there. Now that's the main basis. So bulk of the dry ingredients is the pale ale malt. But we make lots of different types of beers. So we have dark beers, light beers, malty beers, hoppy beers. And one of the ways we vary it is by adding small quantities of the coloured malts that you can see there. There's chocolate malt in the far bin, amber and crystal there. And they've all got different flavours and give different effects in the beer. And then we've got the other ingredient here, which is torrefied wheat, which is added for head retention. So, as you know from the Midlands northwards in England, everybody likes a good head on the beer. Down south, where we come from, flat rear ale, a couple of soapy bubbles floating around on the top, and that's all we get. And different people prefer different things. I personally like a good head on the beer. Having got the head on the beer, they found out that torrefied wheat, if a small amount going in, actually aids the head retention, so that it actually makes the surface tension of the little bubbles stronger, so they last longer. That's the theory behind it. So the malts the different coloured malts, as I say, go in. Torrefied wheat goes in. The pale ale malt is held in 3 large silos in the next building there, which used to be a linen mill. And the lads now key in the quantity, the beer they want, and it automatically brings in the pale ale malt.
Yeah.
So it comes in through here, into the hopper. They add the coloured malts and the torrefied wheat by hand, and then just a small scoop of the gypsum salts, Epsom salts and common garden salt. All goes in and it gets milled. And it's quite a coarse milling. So that's what it looks like. That's called grist, and that's what it looks like at the end of it. So as you can see, there's no flour on the bottom. All we're doing is breaking the husk, so that when it's steeped in water in the mashing process, then you can get all these sugars, flavours and colours are released into the wort. So that's what it looks like when it comes out. Now we're talking about malt or malted barley. Do you know what malting means? No. You start off with the barley. The grains of barley are steeped in water for a couple of days, so they just germinate. And on germination, again, there's a chemical change inside, and the starch that's in the grain is turned into the sugars and enzymes that we use in the brewing industry and in the distilling, because if you go to a distillery up in Scotland,
they'll be
they'll
doing
talk
the
about...
same.
So it's the same idea. And it's the sugars that we want, because the yeast feeds on the sugars and turns it into alcohol with carbon dioxide as a byproduct. So we've got the malt, the barley has germinated. It just, as soon as it germinates, it gets drained and then it's roasted, which is why those are our maltings over there, as you can see. And most of them have a sort of a conical top to them, and that's the chimney. So they're being dried in there, and then some roasted to different extents. So we'll have a look when we go out. The chocolate malt and the amber malt, the chocolate malt's been roasted, so it's just under combustion point. If they kept it going any longer, it would actually ignite. And the crystal and the amber malts are roasted to different extents, and they all balance out, and you get the different flavours. So that's the story of our malt. Now the barley that we get our malt from is grown in the northeast. So sort of from Northumberland, Yorkshire down. Most of the barley comes in, we haven't got any here. It's a lot of it's from Castleford in Yorkshire, and you get the big tankers coming in, and they come in on a Wednesday. And it's all loose grain now, we don't have it coming in sacks. It's the old traditional barley growing areas now. And apparently it's extending down. They're getting more in the East Anglia as well now. If you listen to all the programmes, it's starting to change. Right, so we've milled our malt. It looks like that, and it's held in the grist case outside next door, ready for the mashing stage. So we'll go and have a look at that.
When you said the guys come now and put the beer of the malt into the programme,
Yeah.
is that what the head brewer used to do? Was he oversee everything that went in the bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I might have been here, thanks, for so long. Just go to the coloured malts. As I say, when you taste a Snecklift, obviously it goes in bitter as well, but certainly Snecklift you really do remember that, you get a memory bit on it. Right, so we've milled our malt, it gets held in the grist case there, and then when we're ready to do the next stage, it drops into the mash tumbler there. And in there, it's steeped in warmed well water, about 64-65 degrees, and it stays in there for about an hour or so. Hour and a quarter. During that time, the water is working on those sugars and enzymes that we were talking about, working on them, and then at the end of it, it's sprayed or sparged with very hot water to release it out into the wort. The spent malt is then taken away. You may have seen the trailer outside. I don't know if you saw the trailer outside. And the local farmer takes it away and uses it as cattle feed. So nearly all breweries have that sort of lovely reciprocal arrangement. We get rid of the waste product, and he gets fat cattle feed. It's just one of those things that's always going on.
Butcher sells
Exactly.
meat with a Jennings flavour.
A good tradesman too.
Sorry?
A good tradesman too.
What's that?
Beyond.
Oh yes, I didn't see it. Well, you know that they always need one of those. So the wort then gets transferred into the copper here, and the hops are pitched in. We'll look at the hop store on the way down. Hops get pitched in, and it's all brought to a very vigorous boil. And it's at this stage, you know when you go past a brewery and you get that lovely malty smell, it's at this stage that you get it, because it's boiling there, steam goes up through the chimney and wafts over the town, which is lovely.
I was in the other day and you must have been.
Yes, yeah. Oh, it is nice. It's very pleasant for us when it's an easterly wind because then it wafts over the house.
Yeah.
If they do brews in a day, they start at 4. And so by the time they're at that stage, it's about 6. So you wake up at 6 in the morning to this wonderful aroma over the town. And then they do, and other people do come in and do a second shift, and then they'll brew sort of between 10 and 12.
Will they brew just the same flavouring, or no? It will be.
It's all supply and demand.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we'll only do 1 brew a day. A couple of months ago, we were brewing twice a day, nearly every day.
Right.
You know, so it's just supply and demand. January and February were very quiet, nobody's got any money. So we got this vessel's called a copper, but obviously made of stainless steel.
Yeah.
But the boiling vessels for distilleries and breweries are nearly always referred to as a copper,
Yeah.
because that's what they used to be made of. Now this vessel holds 150 barrels, and again, don't forget when I'm talking about a barrel, it's a unit of measurement of 36 gallons. So the firkins that you see going into pubs, you know, that you
Yes.
see, they're 9 gallons, they're
Yeah.
called firkin.
Yeah.
A barrel, you don't see the big barrels
No.
anymore because of health and safety, you're not allowed to move them. But they're 36 gallons. So 150 barrels would mean 46,080 pints. So if we do a full brew of 150 barrels, that's the quantity. You can tell by our lovely, very high-tech gauge here. If you have a look in there, you can see the little chamber there with the floating towards me where this is.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So as the works level goes up,
Yeah.
the float goes up.
Oh right.
How high-tech is that?
Yeah.
So it's a lovely thing. You don't need all this technology. It's fantastic.